and say yo 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 yo. Jess Hilarious.
Good morning.
Charlamagne the God. Peace to the planet. It's Monday. Good morning.
Yes. Back to the work week.
How y'all feel out there? I feel blessed, black, and highly favored. Happy to be here. Another day to serve our beautiful listeners. What's happening?
How was your Mother's Day, Jess?
Oh, I was stuck in the airport for like most of the day. But,
oh, damn.
But it was relaxing. By the time I got home, I knew I had to wake up early this morning, so we didn't go out or anything. We just, watched the movie or whatever. My son wanted to watch Deadpool, so that's what we did.
Well, how was the trip? You flew into Newark?
Huh?
You flew into Newark?
Yes.
See?
She always flies to Newark. Yeah.
No. The outage problem is gone.
No, it was an outage Sunday. Sunday morning there was an outage.
Oh, it must have stopped for me. And, thank God,
Jesus.
I landed well. But no, that's what
why
they
you
said
were
in the
delayed.
airport. Yeah, I was delayed.
Yeah, delayed the cancellations.
I was delayed.
Yes.
Yep. But at first, I was flying into JFK. That got delayed. So then I was okay. So then LaGuardia, it was like all sold out. Philly, it was nothing to Philly. And then they was like, well, Newark outage problem is not, it's no more. So you can go ahead and fly into Newark. And I was like, okay.
Well, yesterday was an equipment issue.
I was still delayed.
Yeah,
I was still
equipment
delayed.
issue at Newark, yes.
Yeah, so I was...
Equipment issue.
At Newark.
How was Detroit?
Oh, we're going to get to that. Later on in the show. Absolutely.
Uh-oh.
But I do love my fans. Detroit always treats me well. My fans treat me great. So yeah, we won't get into that. But listen, I've been like rebranding my YouTube. So y'all see, go to Jess Hilarious Official on my YouTube channel to see never before seen clips. BTS behind the scenes of everything of how I do Jess With The Mess, Jess Fix My Mess, up here at Breakfast Club, everything. So on the road. So make sure y'all subscribe. Right, Char? Subscribe. With a V. To Jess Hilarious Official on YouTube.
Now, salute to all the moms. Hopefully you had a great Mother's Day. I actually took my mother and my wife and the whole family, actually, to go see Hell's Kitchen, which is Alicia Keys' play
Fantastic
on Broadway.
Play.
Oh, my gosh. It was such a dope show. Salute to Tank. He killed it. Salute to the whole cast. The whole cast.
Deadbeat Darius.
The woman that played Alicia Keys killed
it's a
it.
love story.
Yeah, it is. Okay. It is a love story. It's a love story for music. It's a love story for her the guy that she wanted.
It's her love story for Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, and her love story for Hell's Kitchen.
New York. It ain't no love story.
Yeah, it gave you the feeling of New York growing up as a kid, like just going outside and seeing people on the stoop and doing the things that we did as kids. But it was really, really dope. And then after, I went backstage and kicked it with Tank a little bit. But that wasn't the thing. The dancers in the play, they started. I guess they knew my kids from dancing, so they were able to.
Everybody in the world knows your kids dance.
Yeah, that's a good thing. But they were giving my kids pointers, and one of the actual singers is a dance mom, so she's out on the road and she sees them. Nice. So my kids got to talk to them and kick it with them about dancing and acting and all that other stuff. And then Tank was just being Tank, just a good brother. So salute to him.
Hell's Kitchen is a good play, especially if you're a Alicia Keys super fan.
Yes,
if you're an Alicia Keys super fan, you're gonna love it.
Yeah, you'll love it.
Saw it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
nice,
amazing show. All right, well, let's get the show cracking. Lizzo will be joining us this morning.
Hey.
She has a new album, Love in Real Life, coming this summer. We're gonna be kicking it with Lizzo. You ain't gonna do no drop a bomb for her, no applause, nothing. Okay, there we go. And now we got front page news next, so don't go anywhere. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. All right, now over the weekend, the Celtics beat the Knicks 115-93. The Knicks still lead that series 2-1. The Thunder and Nuggets, they tied the series. They won 92-87. Now, yesterday, the Timberwolves beat the Warriors 102-97. Minnesota is leading that series 2-1.
No, that was Saturday.
In Indiana, played yesterday. The Cavs and the Pacers. Pacers beat them 129-109. Indiana leads that series 3-1.
Celtics and Knicks play tonight.
Yep, play tonight at 7:30.
Pressure's on, Knicks.
Yep, Timberwolves play at 10 o'clock.
Pressure's on, Knicks.
We all right?
Hey.
We okay?
Pressure's on.
We okay. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning. Happy Monday. How y'all feeling?
Good.
Hey, girl. Happy belated Mother's Day.
Thank you. Same to you, Jess. Did you enjoy?
I did, in the airport, but it was all fine when I got home. I was able to be with my kids.
That's a beautiful thing. All right, y'all, let's get into it. First up on the front page. In case you missed it, Newark, New Jersey Mayor Ross Baraka is out of jail after being arrested on Friday for allegedly trespassing at an ICE immigration detention center. Now, DHS spokesperson Tricia McLaughlin described the facility, saying it houses MS-13 gang members and rapists. While President Trump's acting U.S. attorney for New Jersey, Alina Habba, made the arrest. And here's what she had to say about it in part. Let's take a listen to
the mayor has publicly for 3 days been saying that he's going to break in, eventually did break in, was given multiple opportunities to remove himself. We will not stand for anybody getting in the way of getting rid of criminals in this country. It's very simple.
So Mayor Baraka, he spoke out about the incident following his release, saying he felt like he was targeted, his rights were violated, and he's weighing his legal options moving forward. Let's take a listen to his comments.
I'm the mayor of the city. I have the right to go anywhere in this city, particularly in places where I think our laws are being violated. I will confer with my lawyers to figure out what's the best pathway forward on this. I think they completely violated my rights. They obviously targeted me. It was I wasn't the only one out there. They came directly to me, right, and tried to arrest me. No one else.
So Baraka, he's urging fellow Democrats to continue to push for access to ICE detention centers. In the ICE detention center where he was arrested, it's giving good trouble, necessary trouble. But Democratic Representative Rob Menendez Jr., LaMonica McIver, and Bonnie Watson Coleman were also involved in the incident at Delaney Hall. Watson claims the Trump administration is acting like a, quote, dictatorship in its pursuit to arrest immigrants in the country illegally. Let's take a listen to Congresswoman Bonnie Watson Coleman's comments.
We, the people, will make sure that this administration adheres to the rules that separate us from dictatorships in other third world countries.
Democratic Rep. Rob Menendez Jr. added that this is unacceptable and should shake every American to their core, and our collective core is what he had to say. What do you guys think about that? I mean, you guys are up there in the region, in the general vicinity of the area. How does this make you feel?
I don't think this is just about a regional thing. Like, yes.
No, not at all. But this is definitely the precedent.
Yeah, especially when we just saw a judge get locked up 2 weeks ago. I mean, these things happen so fast that we tend to forget. But we just saw a judge get locked up a couple of weeks ago. So it's not just a regional thing. I mean, I don't know how it's going to play out, to be totally honest with you. I'm not going to be up here on this radio acting like I got, these predictions or I know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen in this country from this point on.
Well, does it scare you? I mean, in the sense that
No, because I believe in God, so it don't scare me. But I just don't know how everything's gonna play out.
All right, y'all.
It's not trending in the right way. I'll tell you that much.
No, not at all.
No, not at all. But, that's your front page news for 6 a.m. This is a situation that I will continue to keep an eye on as it is close to home for you guys. And then at 7, we will get into what's going on with the New York City Mayor, Eric Adams. He had a meeting with President Trump on Friday. So I will get into that.
All right.
In the next hour. Mm-hmm.
See you next hour, Morgan. Everybody else, get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open again. 800-585-1051. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Ray!
Yo, Charlamagne, Envy, what up? Are we live?
This is your time to get it off your chest.
I got an indoor pool, an outdoor pool.
We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
We can get on the phone right now. He'll tell you what it is.
We live.
Hello, who's this?
This is Tashiana.
Hey, Tashiana. Good morning. Get it off your chest.
Good morning. I just want to say I'm a official graduate of the real HU, Howard University.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank you.
I'll let you live this morning. Congrats.
I knew you were going to say that. It is the real HU. I come from the 757 too. So, look, put some respect on it.
All right, you got it. And salute to all the graduates. I know most of the HBCUs, a lot of them, graduation was on Mother's Day this Sunday. So congratulations, Mama.
Oh, wait. And I just would want to say I want to shout out my mother and my grandmother because, they did do it. And my dad, too.
They did do it.
Yeah, I wanted to give them a special shout out. Yep, they did do it. They got me there. I was a returning student. And so, when I came back this year, I had a lot on my mind. And I didn't want to doubt myself. I didn't, and I made it. I walked across that stage.
Well, congratulations.
God be the glory.
Congrats, Mama.
Thank you.
And what's your major?
And if anybody, computer science.
Oh, computer science.
So it was not easy.
You got a job yet, or are you still working? Or are you still looking?
Still looking.
All right. Well, good luck and congratulations again.
I love that major.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one.
You too.
Hello, who's this?
Terrell from Queens.
Terrell from Queens. What up? What part of Queens?
Southside Jamaica, Queens.
Southside. All right. What's up? Get it off your chest, brother.
I just wanted to
basically talk about my business. I'm a personal trainer out here in Long Island.
Mm-hmm.
I'm changing lives in the gym.
Okay. What's the name of the gym, brother?
The name of my company is Train to Inspire.
I bet you got a bunch of big backs rushing to try to lose a bunch of weight before summertime right now.
You already know.
Yeah, they knew summer was coming, but they just kept eating.
100%. And yo, DJ Envy, Charlamagne, keep doing what y'all doing. Jess Hilarious.
Thank you, baby.
I wanted to wish you a happy Mother's Day also. Y'all keep shining. And also, I listen to y'all faithfully every day. I wanted y'all to please give me a follow on social media.
We should put it out there.
He's talking about us. He wanted us to follow, not the people.
Oh, I thought he was talking about the people.
Yeah,
listening.
well, the people, I'm doing good with them, but I really care about y'all guys giving me a follow to see what I'm out there doing in the gym.
What's your IG, brother?
It's Train, TRAINTO Inspire, and you'll see my name up there, Terrell Carpenter.
Okay.
No.
I ain't about to lie to you. I'm going to go look. You know what I'm saying?
Right
if
now.
you're doing something interesting, I'll follow.
Okay,
well, that's
brother.
what he wants you to go look and see. He
I
wants you to look at him in the gym.
Honesty is the best policy.
That's right.
Nah, I see you training. I see you training the kid in the wheelchair. That's dope. I see you out there training, brother.
I appreciate y'all.
You got the kid in the wheelchair doing
outside,
squats?
outside.
Excuse me?
I'm doing pull-ups.
He's doing pull-ups.
Okay,
He's doing pull-ups. He's doing pull-ups.
Got you.
With the wheelchair.
Let me ask you a question. Serious question. With the guys in the wheelchair, do you do anything with them for leg day? Seriously?
Yo, shut up, man.
I mean,
it's the type of therapy that they do.
Yo, Charlamagne, come on.
No. It really is therapy for paraplegics. Yeah.
Everybody in a wheelchair.
Yo, Charlamagne, I'm just passionate about what I do, man. And as you can see on my page, I'm passionate, man. I'm helping everybody out, man. I want everybody to feel good and look good.
No doubt, but I'm asking a serious question. Do some people in wheelchairs, like, their legs aren't totally useless, right?
Not everybody.
100% not.
Yeah.
Not everybody.
He must have thought you was being
he was
funny
joking,
or whatever.
yeah.
He thought you were joking, but no, that's a real thing. It is therapy for them.
I know he got jokes.
No.
I know he got jokes.
How about the paraplegics? Yeah, that's a whole different community. Roll up on his ass.
Have a good one. Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need an event, hit us up now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club. This is your time to get it off your chest, whether you're mad or blessed.
I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. Everything with me is blessed.
Call up now. 800-585-1051.
Not just me. I'm what the culture feeling.
Hello, who's this?
This is Faith calling from Tampa.
Hey, Faith from Tampa. Get it off your chest.
It's Monday morning, it's raining, and I'm not ready for work.
I know that's right.
Yeah, so are you a mom? Did you celebrate Mother's Day yesterday?
I celebrated Mother's Day yesterday with my 8-year-old Delilah, and I'm 32 weeks pregnant.
Oh, congrats.
Congratulations and happy
Thank
Mother's
you.
Day.
Happy belated Mother's Day, Jess.
Thank you, honey.
Hey, look, if you don't want to go to work today, you got an excuse. You can say you got to go to the doctor today for a checkup.
Something.
You can have an excuse if you could be tired. You got morning sickness. You can take the day off if you need to.
Take an extra day.
You're correct. That's that FMLA.
Yes, FMLA.
All right, mama.
All right, thank you.
Hello, who's this?
Hi, how are y'all this morning?
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Get it off your chest.
Yes, I want to get it off my chest. I was actually sick in and out of the hospital for like 2 months. And I recently started feeling a lot better. And my so-called friend I've been friends with for over 30 years literally just hit me up with a text and then finally called me and said, oh, how you doing? I'm like, I'm all right. Oh, well, I can't talk too long because I got my new boyfriend in the car, so I'm going to have to call you back.
So why you mad because she got a new boo?
No, it's not that. I'm happy. I'm happy she getting twisted and getting loose. My thing is, you didn't pop up on me at the hospital. You didn't call me. You just literally sent me a text and then finally called me to say you can't talk too long.
Crazy. How old is she?
So my thing is, I'm really pissed off, and I'm like, this is my so-called friend. Like, I really don't know how to feel about it.
Oh, your friend? I thought you said your daughter. Oh man, Is she usually? You said she got a new boo?
She got a new boo. Yeah.
Okay. Is she usually single?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she's in a relationship. I'm not justifying her like not, reaching out to you and not coming to see about her girl or whatever, because you are definitely her girl. But at the same time, you gotta know when somebody is so used to being single, then they finally get somebody, girl, that's where all the attention be at. Like, excuse me? Like, real bad. And she was like, you ain't dying, you know what I'm saying? You straight. But you so used to her being single and you having all the access to her, you can't even wrap your head around this new guy she got, you know?
No, I actually was literally dying on my deathbed.
Oh, my God. Oh, wow. Yeah, she wrong.
Yeah, she definitely wrong. I'm sorry, Mama.
Well, I am doing much better. So my thing is, Jess, you think I should not talk to her anymore?
No. Definitely talk to her because she need to know how you feel. That's your friend. She need to know how you feel. And then, depending on how she take the conversation, then you can go on, move on after that. You know, treat her accordingly. But you definitely need to sit down. She owe you a conversation for sure.
Exactly. And I'm like, I don't know if I should say something right now because I'm still in the midst of coming out of the hospital.
No. Focus on getting better first because it ain't about her. It's about you right now. And then you go talk to her. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Y'all have a good morning.
All right. Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. Now, we got the latest with Loren. You look very demure this morning.
You look very good.
Thank you. Demure.
You look like you own a horse.
Or two.
Yeah.
Very wealthy.
Yeah, very wealthy, very attorney. Are you going to go into court today to advise Diddy or what's...
I'm going into court not to advise anyone, but I will be there, and that's what we're actually going to talk about.
That is a good court look.
Thank you.
Yeah, when you park your horse outside of the courtroom, you know what I'm saying? Mosey on in.
Thank you. We are going to talk about that, though, because court was actually halted on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to talk about why, because remember, I was here and I was like, y'all, court is over already?
Mm-hmm.
Very odd. But we're going to talk about what went down and how that's going to affect today. Today is the first day of opening statement, so this is a big day for Puff in court.
Now, I heard there was a rumor that Cassie might take the stand today.
Already?
That's what they said. That's what I heard on 1010 Wins. That's what I heard on the news this morning.
We'll get into it.
Okay. All right. We'll get into that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Let's get to the latest with Loren.
Loren becoming a straight fast.
She gets them from somebody that knows somebody.
She gets the details.
I'm the homegirl that knows a little bit about everything.
She be having the latest on you.
The latest with Lauren LaRosa.
Sometimes she have facts, sometimes she have details, sometimes she have a little bit of everything.
Well, it's the latest.
On The Breakfast Club.
Talk to me.
Okay, so the Diddy trial will continue today, May 12th. But today is a really, really big day because opening statements will begin for both the prosecutors and Diddy's team on the defense. But before that starts, they have to select the jury. They were supposed to have done this on Friday. That was supposed to be the last day of this. But the Diddy's team came in and said, because of cold feet, we shouldn't do it today.
What you mean cold feet?
So Diddy's team alleged that if they were to have selected the final members of the jury on Friday, those jury members would have had all weekend to sit, get nervous, get a little scared, basically. Like they didn't want that to happen. So they were like, look, we feel like because of how high stake this case is, because of the person that is in question, talking about Puff, we should wait until Monday right before we start the opening statements. They have a pool of 43 jurors, men and women. They have them narrow that down to 12 definite jurors and 6 alternates. So the judge agreed. He said, you know what? You're right. I agree. Let's wait until right before opening statements. We'll choose a jury and then boom, we'll swear them in. We'll go right into the actual opening statements from prosecutors and the defense.
So they're expecting this to be a speedy trial then?
The judge has been very, very adamant about wanting to stick to schedule. He doesn't, even timing, like this week, court is going to go from 9 to 5. He's like, next week, we're going to do 9 to 3. We're not going to be in here all day. We're going to get this done. And I think even with the jury thing, not wanting to pick over the weekend is because they don't want no mishaps. They don't want to have to get more people back in if the 6 alternates fall through. Like, they just want to get through. Yeah, he wants to get through it.
Is that good or bad that it seems like they're trying to get through this fast?
I don't think it's a bad thing. The judge seems really, really, really fair at the way that he's like handling both sides of it. Prosecutors did push back on it a bit, and I think it's just because for them, they don't care about that. Like they want,
I want the truth. I just want the truth.
They just
Forget the speedy trial. We want the truth. We want people to be able to divulge to the facts and all that.
I mean, it's still 8 weeks. Like 8 weeks is still a time period for a trial. That's enough time. And if there's more time needed, it seems like the judge is fair on both sides. But anyway, so today prosecutors and the defense will present their opening statements. Now, Envy, you had a question about Cassie testifying.
Yes, I think I heard on the news on my way, and they said Cassie might be testifying today.
Well, there have been photos that came out of her last week, at the end of the week, of very, very pregnant in New York. It is expected that she's supposed to testify this week, but for her to testify today, those opening statements from both sides will have to be really, really short. I'm told by a source close to the case that it's possible, but for that to happen today, they would have to literally get through their opening statements super fast, and then, but it all depends on, what strategy the prosecutors are trying to take. And typically, you wouldn't lean on a witness for your opening statements, but it depends on where they're going with it. Also, too, Cassie's really, really pregnant. So I think that's going to play a part, too, in both sides wanting to make sure they can get her on the stand early on, because once she's out, she's out.
That's going to be a very stressful environment for her to be pregnant and be on that stand, and the way they're going to press her and, be bringing up all type of stuff that I'm sure that, she may not want to have divulged. That's going to be a lot.
Yeah, I talked about this on the podcast, the latest with Lauren LaRosa. That's actually an interesting point, because if I'm a prosecutor and I'm pressing or even a defense, Diddy's team, and I'm pressing Cassie, the visual of a very pregnant woman sit on a stand being pressed can turn, like, if I'm a person, I'm like, oh my God, yeah, it's like, what are y'all doing to her?
Not to mention, pregnancy brain is real, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So some things can be blurry, clear. I don't know, I don't remember what happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, she pregnant, like in her third trimester, right?
Yeah, she's let me before I say let me look that up. I just know
I didn't even remember things that happened the day before sometimes when I was pregnant. So it's like, they asking her. It's gonna be stressful for her.
But they gotta go back and forth with her, right? They gotta go to the facts. But like you said, it's gonna look so crazy.
Ain't gonna be no back and forth. It's gonna be a full court press. Okay,
but how is
they gonna throw everything in the book at Cassie?
But how is Diddy's team gonna be going full court press with this woman who's pregnant?
You gotta be strategic. You gotta do it where you get to what you need to get to, but you don't look like you're like
bullying.
being angry. They're like being upset with her.
He don't care. He fighting for his life.
I mean, 100%. But I feel like you don't want the jury to feel like you're
attacking a pregnant
They're
woman.
going to do that because the picture that they're going to paint of Cassie is you not innocent. That's what they're going to try to paint.
100%. 100%.
You was complicit in all of this, and probably an accessory in some cases. That's how they're going to try to paint her.
Oh yeah, they've already started kind of leaning into that now. As far as how far along Cassie is, she announced her pregnancy in February 2025. So according to Google, she's 6, maybe 7 months at this point. She's in the photo she looked very pregnant. Now I'd already told you guys that from what I was told, Cassie did not want to testify. Victim 3, as we know, as of today, still does not want to testify and is telling them she does not plan on coming to court. There is now a victim 5. I know Puff's team was trying to keep victim 5 out of the conversation or whatever, but victim 5, if victim 5 does testify, will testify with she's not going to be able to hide her identity, and this is according to some documents that TMZ recently obtained, and this victim is going to testify as a witness that Diddy committed an act of sexual misconduct allegedly in the past, but he's not being charged for this act in the case.
Do any of the victims have penises? Because there was a lot of talk about male stuff. But I don't know if did that make it to the courtroom. I know that was a lot of chatter online, but did it make it to the courtroom?
All of the victims that I know of are women.
Okay.
At this point, and y'all had some questions about what happens if victim 3 don't show up.
Men before.
Great question.
Oh, see,
Jess.
I don't know that.
You gotta be strategic.
I probably won't know until I see.
Okay.
And all those suits, because a lot of Diddy's lawsuits got dropped, right?
On the civil side,
right?
Yes, there's a number of them.
So the Rodney one got dropped, right? That's the one they took. He said he took a shower and he was making beats in the shower or something like that.
Yes.
But that's on the civil side. I mean, to your point, though, I'm sure that they're going to try and make claims on the criminal side seem like really outrageous because we've watched that on the civil side. But civil and criminals separate.
They have no weight, in civil because they
burden of proof is different. But so that kicks off today. I'll be there.
Yes,
I will be there.
Our very own Loren LaRosa will be there.
Yes.
Dressed as Colonel Sanders.
Oh my God. But it's giving like a cute little colonel.
Nice. Period. It's very well fitted.
Equestrian. That's what you look like.
Equestrian.
That's what she looks like.
Yes.
Is that a horse jockey?
But it's sexy. It's giving like role play with your man.
She need a man first.
Yes.
You need to mind your business.
You're right.
You are right. You got something? Good. All right. Now that is it, and that is all for now. But I will be back with more because it's going to be a long day in court.
What time you got to be there?
I need to be there by 8:30 a.m.
Okay.
Latest, and that's like honest. I'm pushing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. When we come back, we got front page news, and then Lizzo will be joining us. So don't go anywhere. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
You're checking out the Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get back in some front page news. Now, some quick sports. Yesterday, the Cavs lost to the Pacers 129-109. Indiana leads that series 3-1. The Thunder and Nuggets tied their series 2-2. Thunder beat the Nuggets 92-87 tonight. The Knicks take on the Celtics at 7:30, and the Timberwolves take on the Warriors at 10 p.m. Let's go, New York. Go, New York.
This is a must-win game for the Knicks. It's a must-win game for the Knicks. I know, people think that if the Celtics win, it's just tied. No, if the Celtics win, It's going no. Celtics win. It's going to be tough.
We lead the series 2-1 right now. We gonna win tonight.
They should.
We gonna win at home tonight. All right. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning. All right, y'all. So let's get back into front page news. So President Trump is headed to the Middle East, and during his trip, he's expected to accept a luxury jet from the royal family of Qatar or Qatar. It depends on how you pronounce it, based on where you are in the world.
That's illegal.
He's reportedly expected to use this jet as Air Force One, according to multiple sources reported to NBC. Now, the Boeing 747-8 jet will then be moved to Trump's Presidential Library Foundation following his White House term. And of course, as you mentioned, Charlamagne, the lavish gift is sparking concerns amongst legal scholars as to whether or not it is a legal gift.
See, we got to stop saying that, Morgan. We just got to call it what it is. It is illegal. Like when you say spark questions, amongst legal scholars on whether it's legal, it leaves it open for, discussion. That's not a discussion. It's illegal.
But is it illegal? Because
the U.S. Constitution prohibits government officials from accepting gifts from any king, prince, or foreign state.
Sounds good. All right. So it is illegal. Okay.
All right, so the White House is previewing President Trump's upcoming visit to the Middle East. He will visit U.S. troops at the air base in Qatar, the largest U.S. military base in the region. And he will also be in Saudi Arabia, where he's supposed to get that jet, and get an update on Israel-Gaza war ceasefire talks. Now, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said that Trump is going to reaffirm his commitment for a free and prosperous Middle East. Let's take a listen to her comments.
President Trump will return to re-emphasize his continued vision for a proud, prosperous, and successful Middle East, where the United States and Middle Eastern nations are in cooperative relationships, and where extremism is defeated in place of commerce and cultural exchanges.
So this comes as Hamas is set to release the last known living American hostage in Gaza as part of an effort to reach that ceasefire agreement. In a statement on Sunday, Hamas said Israeli-American Eden Alexander will be released to help achieve a ceasefire and allow humanitarian aid to flow into the Gaza Strip. U.S. Special Envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, said he's traveling to Israel to secure Alexander's release, adding that the 21-year-old's family is ecstatic over the news. The ceasefire is an amazing thing, but that jet, that leaves less to be desired. Like you said, it's just
and that's why we can't ask answers. Like we ask answers, right? We'll be like, well, is the jet illegal? And what Envy did is what most people will do in that situation, because they're like, well, is it illegal? Because we're not telling people point blank, yes, it is.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because, and this is going to be bad, but he does stuff so blatant, I'm like, there's no way it could possibly be illegal.
Yes, and then the media...
If you saying, I'm going to take a $400 million jet.
Yes.
Yeah. Exactly, but that's essentially what it is that he's doing things, and then it's like, okay, well, he's finding holes here and holes there, and then he's going to take it...
No, there's no holes. There's no holes. This is just blatantly illegal. This is blatant corruption.
What happens when a federal judge blocks this? You know what I mean? Like, it just, I don't see it.
The U.S. Constitution prohibits government officials from accepting gifts from any king, prince, or foreign state, but we're in a post-constitutional country, so I guess that document means nothing to this administration, so who cares? But think about this. Outside of it just being widely illegal, these guys fund terrorist organizations. How do we know they can't just make this plane fall out the sky? And I know the Secret Service is going to do a sweep of the plane, but it's probably loaded with listening devices and tracking devices. They're going to have so much intel on our country. Mm-hmm. Why?
No, you ain't.
Beware the noble gesture.
Mm-hmm. No, it's a Trojan horse. Oh, no. All right, y'all, switching gears. Baseline tariffs of 10% are likely to stay in place as the U.S. negotiates trade deals with countries around the world. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick told CNN State of the Union that foreign companies and countries and not Americans will bear the burden of those tariffs. And Lutnick says trade deals with other countries will help American businesses. Let's take a listen to Howard Lutnick.
We will not go below 10%. That is just not a place we're going to go. We will, country by country, address their particular issues. Of course, we're going to have our shelves full of wonderful products made around the world, but we're going to make sure on their shelves that American products are finally given the fair treatment that they deserve.
So Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said the Trump administration is closing in on a trade deal with China. In a post on social media, President Trump described the meeting as very good, saying there was great progress made. And of course, following the weekend's talk in Switzerland, Bessent said the two countries have agreed to pause their reciprocal tariffs for 90 days, with both sides lowering their rates by 115%. Chinese goods had been hit with tariffs as high as 145% under the Trump administration, and Beijing in turn applied a 125% levy on some U.S. goods. But it looks like things are going to try, or at least they're trying to strike a deal where some of that eases. And bringing things to home to you guys in New York, the last story, the Department of Justice is releasing scores of documents in the permanently dropped federal corruption case of New York City Mayor Eric Adams. The release comes as Adams met privately with Donald Trump on Friday in Washington, D.C. to talk about various issues impacting New York City and New Yorkers. Let's take a listen to their comments.
I think he came in to thank me, frankly. I mean, I would say the primary reason, but he was very nice. He's a nice man.
To talk about infrastructure, to talk about the coordinations we could have, major projects, and all the things that New Yorkers feel are important.
So the judge in this case had ordered their release, setting the Friday as the deadline, and after media outlets demanded to see more of these documents. Now, more than 1,000 pages were released that include court exhibits and unredacted warrants. The DOJ's dismissing of the case also has stirred up a lot of controversy, saying that many feel like Adams is indebted to President Trump. And would you say, Charlamagne, from the audio, thank him?
Oh no, because it's just the way he said it. He basically came to kiss the ring. That's what.
Yeah. President Trump alluded to Adams, saying that he thought he came over there to pretty much thank him, but he did say he was a nice guy. So I don't know. I'm curious to see what New Yorkers think. I know y'all got an election coming up, so I'm not going to get too much into that. But yeah, that's your front page news. You can follow me on socials at Morgan Media, and for more news coverage, follow at Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app and visit us at BINnews.com. And yes, congratulations to all the graduates, like you mentioned, Envy. And Howard University actually set a record. They had their largest graduating class in history.
Oh, wow.
3,160 students in the school's history. The oldest was 72 and the youngest was 19. Isn't that a beautiful thing?
That is amazing.
I just want to put that out there. A little positive note. Just a little glimmer of light, you know what I mean? So,
salute to all the graduates of 2025, the 2025 graduating class. Salute to y'all.
Period. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one.
All right.
You too, girl.
Now, when we come back, Lizzo will be joining us, so don't go anywhere. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa is here as well. And we got a special guest in the building.
Yes, indeed.
Lizzo!
Special. Hi.
Hey, welcome.
What's
How
up,
you
everybody?
feeling?
How you feel?
Good. I feel good.
You look good. Everybody talks about your physical appearance and how you lost weight, but to me, I see somebody that has changed mentally and spiritually. I see somebody that's on a healing journey, because you got a glow about you.
You definitely have a glow.
Glow is something serious, Lizzo.
Yeah, thank you. Well, that's where it starts. I think I had to start with, cleaning out my mind and my energy and clearing out all of the negativity around me. And I feel like I released so much I was holding on to, and then it starts to manifest physically as well. Like, that's why I don't call it a weight loss. I do call it a weight release, because it started, I got snatched here first, and then my body just followed suit. So I do feel amazing. I feel like I've always been in a good place, because I'm always a positive person, but I think that I was not aware of just like how much toxicity has started to kind of come around in my life. And I had a really beautiful period of isolation and clearing of that energy, and now I just feel like, I was holding on to so much. You gotta let go. It's hard for me. I'm a Taurus, so I'll hold going. Hard-headed, stubborn, loyal. So, but I'm so glad you feel that it's an aura thing.
Yeah, you could definitely tell. And you said Pilates helped a lot with it too, right?
I started out with Pilates, because my back was hurting and that was the best way to get moving. But I do a lot of things. I strength train. I do yoga sculpt. I hike. I play pickleball. I got a water bike. You know, the little bike you put in the pool and you just...
Pilates was one of the best. I did Pilates with my daughter.
Wait, you do Pilates?
Yeah. My daughter wanted me to go with her. Because I didn't want to go at first, but it was, you do some stuff with your daughter.
Yeah.
And I did it. She's 23, and she took me to do Pilates.
Yeah.
And it was the most amazing thing. All my aches, all my pains, it was able to stretch it out. It was. I'm the only guy in there.
Right. Which is crazy because Pilates, that's a man. His name is Joseph Pilates.
Correct.
A man created it and is designed to help you with longevity. So he lived to be like, I think he passed away in a house fire, but he could have lived to be like 200 years old.
They just got to change the music a little bit. Because sometimes that music just don't be for me.
They be playing Lizzo.
No, they don't be playing Lizzo.
Stuff that motivates you to keep doing it.
Sometimes I just need a little trap Pilates.
What you want to hear?
A little trap music sometimes.
Trap Pilates is crazy. You better trademark that for somebody. Take it in Atlanta.
Now, actually, one of our friends up there has that. I said Wheezy. Wheezy does trap.
Do that.
Wheezy does trap
House Fitness. Wheezy does that.
She has a spot in New York that does trap Pilates.
Wheezy's from the Decision to Decisions podcast.
Yes,
she has an actual place called Trap House Fitness, and that's what they do.
It's
Trap
okay,
Pilates.
but is it called Trap Pilates? Because I'm a branding girl. I'm a trademark that.
It's Trap House Fitness. I don't know. If
that's
it's called
cool. Well, okay, Trap Pilates is not taken. Listen, it's $1 billion idea.
There you go.
You've always had a form of self-love that people can see, but I feel like it's just more radical now.
Yeah, I think it has to be. I have to fight for it a little bit more, but I think I always had to fight for it, though, actually. I just think it's just like, as your life changes and different things happen to you, you gotta, move differently. Yeah, I think it's just a life thing. Like, you can't handle every situation in your life the same. You get older, you grow up, everybody can relate to that.
At what point in your career did you get to this point where, like, you even talk about that side of it more? Because I feel like when you first came out, even when you did talk about, like, stuff that wasn't as positive, you still kept it so positive. But now that you stream, you really get into, like, how you feel for real, what you going through. You like, and it was a lot more protected when Lizzo first came on the scene. From what I felt, like the brand was protected a little bit more, but now you're taking control over a lot more.
I don't know. I just think people know me a little bit more, so I think I'm able to communicate things and not put a bow on it or have a happy ending because y'all just know me more. I think when I first came out, people didn't know me, so the brand is very like one note because it's like, oh, that's that girl, that's the happy girl who be twerking with the flute.
Yeah,
and but that happens to everybody. Like, any artist, you just become like a thing. You're not a person. But I think the more we get to know artists and the longer they're in the game, the brand becomes more multifaceted. And I think mine just expanded a little bit more. So I feel more comfortable communicating. And I feel safer on stream talking about these kinds of things because I know I'm in a room with people who get me. Y'all understand me, you know me, so I can tell you how the I'm feeling or what I went through and, these real moments that I have. I can share that.
And I heard you were saying that people are kinder there as well. Like, it's a better sense of community on Twitch and streaming. That's good. Were you scared to before? Were you scared to dive into that part?
I always kind of flirted with it because I love like running my mouth and I love talking to my fans. I've always been this person like with my social media. So I had a whole Twitch set up in my house just ready to go. And I was like, I want a whole streaming setup. I want games, all of that, The Sims. And it was just in my house sitting there. And I was kind of intimidated by it. I would walk by it every day and be like, one of these days I'm gonna stream, one of these days. And then I remember my friend Solana, she was like, I'm about to be on Kai Cenat, like, pull up with me. And I was like, when? She was like, in 2 hours. I said, okay, let me get myself together and like go pull up with my friend. Yes, SZA.
Okay, but girl, you said my friend Solana. A lot of people might not know you're talking about.
I know who
SZA.
she was talking about.
I know you know, but the average person might not know. I just had to.
Were you at the show? Yeah,
it was not, I didn't mean to. I just like average people might not know that you're just casually talking about SZA.
I am so sorry. Rewind the track.
Yeah, so SZA hit you.
So SZA hit me and was like, I'm about to be on Kai Cenat in like 2 hours. Can you pull up with me? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna pull up with you because I'm like, I was so afraid because it's like he has like hundreds and hundreds of thousands, damn near million people watching and commenting in real time. Oh God, that's terrifying. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna ride with my friend. And I was like, if anybody got anything negative to say, they'll say it about me. God damn it, So I pulled up and I had so much fun. And I was reading the chat, and they were like, yeah, W Lizzo, yeah, W SZA, yeah. Little emotes and shit. And I was like, oh, they're so nice. And that made me feel comfortable with diving into my own channel. I made Lizzo Be Twitching, and Kai got me like 40,000 subscribers in like 2 seconds. He was like, everybody go spam Lizzo Be Twitching right now. Wow. And they all followed it. And I was like, okay, now I have to stream. Because they just going to be sitting in there, you know, building a cachet. So that really helps. What'd you say?
Is it therapeutic?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I have to run my mouth. I'm a Life Path 3. I'm a communicator. So therapy was the beginning of that. Like, that saved my life. Being able to talk to somebody once a week and just run my mouth and figure out my issues. And I feel like when I communicate, when I write music, when I sing songs, when I go on tour, when I talk to people, it is very healing. It is very connecting. I need to connect to feel good. I can't be disconnected. I go actually insane. I've learned.
You mean you can't be disconnected from people?
Yeah, I can't be disconnected from people. I go insane.
So at a point where you said you had to step back and isolate, that was kind of hard for you too, since you had to. I mean, I know you had to do it, and it all, you know, made sense, and it made sense in the end. But it still was challenging for you because you have to be connected to people. You're a person like that.
It was a little insanity, but I think in a little period of insanity can be helpful. Because you have to do really hard work. Yeah. And I was at a point in my life where the internet hated me, and I could not trust the people around me, like friends, family, coworkers, and I was severely depressed. And now I feel like I know who I am, I know whose I am, and can't nobody shake that. Because once I reintroduced myself back into connecting with people and friends and trusting the internet, and you know, I'm like, I know who I am. I move with a different kind of confidence.
We're still kicking it with Lizzo. Loren?
Does it get on your nerves though that sometimes every single thing you do, people still relate it to like wanting to talk about you in certain ways? Like you were at the Met Gala, the outfit went off. Every headline though is about your weight loss and not about how good you look, and I think that that's unfair, and that happens a lot with you. Does that get annoying to you where it's like, I can't move around that? Like people always want to talk about me.
Well, I signed up for it. I knew when, you know, back in 2014 and big girls weren't wearing leotards on stage, and I said, I'm about to put me on one of these Beyonce dance leotards, and I'm about to have big girls behind me wearing them too, because I knew that my body would be the focus of that conversation. And it was something that, because it was unavoidable. Either I could hide and run from it, and people are going to do it anyway. You know, it's like the big girl wearing your arms out theory. It's like, we know your arms big, whether you know, cover it up or not. We know your arms big, so either enjoy the outfit and wear your arms out, or cover your arms up. But we know what it is. Yeah, so for me, it was just like, I'm just gonna run head first into it. What I didn't know is that it would never go away. That's what I mean. Like, no matter how much my body changes, it's never gonna go away. But I think that I have to just like accept that, and I'm actually cool with it. It doesn't annoy me because I look good, you know. And even when I was bigger, I looked good. So it's like, say what you want, but there was always someone in the comments being like, "Yeah, but she's still beautiful, and she looks soft, and face card never declines."
Gorgeous.
Never.
Gorgeous.
So,
what about the time? Because I was reporting when all the lawsuit stuff happened, and you didn't say anything for a long time, like not at all, which most people come out and say stuff. I was wondering, the day that it was dropped, how did you feel? Like, what was your thought process around that? Because you were in isolation at that point, right?
I was in Japan.
Yeah. Well, how did, like,
on a dream trip.
Was it a breath of fresh air, or did you feel like, but the conversation is still there and this is hard?
Oh, it was very hard because I was confused. I was confused, and I was a little like hurt. But I was in Japan it was my first time ever being in Japan. I was with my best friend and her kids. We were at Hello Kitty World, and I'm like crying in the car, but I'm like, okay, wipe your tears and go in there and have fun with the babies. Because we at Hello Kitty World, and you only do this once with these kids who've never been to Japan, and that's their dream. So I did a lot of balancing between that. But I'll tell you one thing about Tokyo. They don't give a what's going on in your personal life. In Tokyo, they're like, Lizzo, let me take a picture. I'm like, okay. Like, I had a great time. Like, nobody's nosy in Japan. And I think being there was God for sure, because though I was dealing with a lot of inner turmoil and hurt, honestly, and shock and confusion, I was in this place that didn't reflect that or throw that back at me. I had my first panic attack when I came back to LA for the first time after everything, the lawsuit had dropped and I was in Japan for like a month and I landed in America. I had a panic attack in the car because as I was walking through the airport, I was like, everybody hates me. Everybody's, you know, I got in my head and I got in the car and I had this like.
You was having a heart attack.
Yeah, I had this like pressure on my chest. Mind you, I've had anxiety attacks. That feels different than a panic attack. I had pressure on my chest. I said, something's really wrong. I couldn't use my limbs or my body. And I was like, I literally crawled to my bed and just like broke down. I was like, what's happening to me? And I talked to my doctor and it was like, yeah, you had a panic attack.
You're dealing with it my whole life.
Yeah. And I think America, everybody want to know everybody's business here. So it's this weird, almost like invisible, I'm not a victim, so I don't want to say attack, but it was like, you know, this pressure or this like, I don't know, it's like implied energy in America where I'm like, oh, I need to hide. Versus Japan, I could be a Hello Kitty world and everyone's like,
yeah.
And you were attacked. You were a victim.
I was ready to say, I know you say you're not a victim, but it's like, no, when somebody lies on you.
You were a victim.
Yeah,
man.
Is that when you started thinking people hated you? Because I wonder, do you remember what the industry felt like or what social media even felt like before that lawsuit?
It felt very like silly and lighthearted, and I had like a lot of freedom to just scroll and not see nothing about me. And then I was on and I would scroll, and every like 3 scrolls and I was like, oh, or be like, Lizzo. If I just see 2 Z's, my heart started racing and I scrolled. Could have been pizza, but I was like, and I just kept scrolling. So it felt a little bit more hostile. But I'll say in general, I think the internet has gotten more hostile for everybody.
Oh, yeah, everything.
Like out of nowhere. Like it used to be so fun and lighthearted, and now everybody is beefing and quarreling and dropping tea, and I'm just like, whoa, when did this happen? But that's when it happened for me. Like I was like, oh, I have to get off. And so from, I would say, October 2023 to maybe even like April 2024, I wasn't on my phone at all. I threw my phone away. Like I had my team post things for me because I had to post about Yiddy and I had to post about, you know, little things I wanted to share with people. I didn't want to completely disappear because that's not who I am. But my team posted it for me, and I did not scroll. I did not look at the internet because I was too sensitive, and I don't think I could have handled it. And I'll also say this in reference to the lawsuit. I would say, in light of all of the other like high profile lawsuits that have been coming out, comparatively the allegations against me, I think now we see we're just like kind of ridiculous. You know, I cracked my knuckles.
Hey man, you sounded like a good time in the strip club to me.
And mind you, it was going to the strip club. It doesn't say that I did anything, like I didn't do anything to anyone in that strip club. I just went to the strip club. And then like being fat phobic for firing someone for gaining weight, that just wasn't true.
But that was hilarious.
It wasn't true, though.
I know, but just it was hilarious just to read that.
Right.
Like,
so, because it didn't make sense.
Like,
what are you talking about?
But that's why nobody believed it. It's like,
right. But I also have to say, like, one of my fears is I don't want my situation and my lawsuit to be an indicator on any other that's going on.
True.
I don't want it to invalidate any other actual, because I will always stand for real victims of sexual harassment and sexual violence and anything, and I will always stand for them and ride for them. So I don't want what happened to me to kind of invalidate anything else going on in the world, and that was really important to me, which is why I was quiet for a long time, because I still want to protect victims.
Right. How does that not change you, right? How does that not change Lizzo as a person, right?
It did, though.
Because now, do you still go out with people? Do you still feel as free? Are you still the Lizzo?
Oh, baby, no.
Hell no, right?
Baby, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because it changes you as a person. And is that a good thing or bad thing?
I think it's an amazing thing.
Why?
I am, you know what? God really loves me. I have to say that. And I feel like everything that happens to me is God. And God is preparing me for something that I don't even know about. But I feel like I readied myself now I feel like a boss. Like I feel like a better boss. I feel like a better friend. I feel like I know how to run a big operation, you know, because mind you, back to the pandemic thing, I blew up in 2020. In 2019, I had maybe 4 crew members. I had 1 roadie, I had a tour manager, and 2 dancers. And then the world shut down in 2020, and I blew up, and I did my first arena tour after being in isolation for 2 years. And I'm suddenly standing in a room with 70, 80 people that I'm like, I want to know everybody's names that works for me.
Gotcha.
And it was really weird. And I got a crash course in being an arena level artist, a big artist, like after literally being an indie artist for 10 years and being in isolation for 2 years. So by the time I was running a arena level operation, I didn't have no practice in that. I didn't have no experiences. And I learned the hard way how to be a boss, but I'm going to be a better boss for it. And I'm really proud of myself. Yeah, if you're on my payroll, we're not going to the bar. We're not going to have drinks together. You know what I'm saying?
The Breakfast Club will go with you to the strip
But
club.
I got
That's all
friends
good.
for that. I got friends for that.
Right.
Okay? I got 2 friends.
That's good, though.
Who else?
My best friend Lexo Derillo from H-Town. Shout out Houston, Texas. And shout out Shantae.
We're still kicking it with Lizzo. Charlamagne?
So how do you decide like what's for the stage or what's for the public and what's sacred now?
There's a lot that's sacred. You know, my barometer for what's for the world, if you really love something, keep it a secret. So there are things that I protect now that, you know, before I didn't think of it as protection. I thought of it as like, oh my gosh, like I'm keeping something from my fans. I'm keeping something from the public. Like, I want you guys to see this. Like, you should see this. Like, I literally, like, the term hard launch, that was me. You know, because I was like, gosh, like, love, like, I want y'all to see this. This is so beautiful. And then the world got 2 seconds of my relationship, and I was like, oh, y'all don't know how to act.
I was literally just
y'all
looking.
know how to act.
I was looking to see. I'm like, she ain't posted him in a minute.
Y'all know how to act. You lost your privileges.
She said, and once.
Yeah, so all that cute shit, all that black love, back in the vault.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
I mean, maybe I only saw the positive stuff because I thought I saw a lot of people that
I
were
swear,
happy for you.
I only
after the
seen
Grammys.
that when it came to a man. Yes.
Yeah, but it was that bad because I was literally on my Instagram looking. I'm like, I ain't seen her post
you know
him
what?
in a minute.
People were really positive. This isn't about like people. I do think that, you know, I don't want to give nobody an opportunity to destroy something good. And I found that it wasn't really necessarily about my relationship that people did that. It was other things, my other relationships where that happened. And I was like, I don't even want to give you the opportunity. No shade, like no disrespect. I love everybody. Thank you for being so cool. But due to new management in my personal life, I have to protect this because I saw so much get destroyed by lies. Yeah. And I didn't want that to happen to my relationship. So it's very protected. Yeah.
Do we have any tearjerkers on Love in Real Life?
We do. There's one song in particular that had to leave a room. It was like, it ran out. I said, I'm sorry. I had like, I'm going to get sad, even though it's not. I mean, sometimes I feel
sad. Well, it can't be.
I wrote I lost my dog. I lost my dog, Puka, and she was 20 years old. Can you see?
What kind of dog?
Oh, she lived a long life.
Maltese. Yeah. And I lost her like in the thick of it. December 2023, when I was like at my most depressed, and then she left, and I was like, mind you, 20 years, like she like a grandma to me.
Yeah.
You know, and that really broke me down, and I wrote a song about it, but it wasn't just about Puka. She said I sampled her voice on the song, but it was about loss in general. You know, I lost my father very young, and so it was a song about grief and death, and I was like, don't put this on your album. Like, I'm the happy girl. I'm the positive spin. You know, I was like, you know what? I owe it to myself, not just to my fans or to myself to put a song like this on my album. And so there is a moment in there. It's called Phone to Heaven. And so that's a little tearjerker.
Yeah.
You know, for people who listen to your music, they know why you're successful, right? But then you have some people who feel like you were only successful because at the time people were checking off boxes. You're a black woman, you're big, you know, diversity, all of that type of stuff. What do you say to those people?
I would say that I created that lane. I don't think people were looking for diversity. I was undeniable. And that created the trend of checking boxes. I don't disagree that at a certain point we started checking boxes. When it comes to checking a box of black fat woman, I'm gonna ride for that every time. I don't care. I'm rooting for everyone black, and I'm rooting for everyone fat, black, and woman. I don't care. You don't have to. If you're not the most talented person in the world and you got pushed through, yay. Because it happens to other people all the time who don't look like that, and we deserve it.
But you're not big no more, Lizzo.
I am big.
No,
what we talk about?
No, you're not,
Lizzo.
No.
Baby, I'm big.
No,
I'm
no.
bigger than
not the biggest anymore. No, you're not.
Say I'm the biggest.
Not the
Big mama.
She is not big. You are not big no more.
So
now, okay, I'm in a room full of people I trust, right? The internet is like, oh, Lizzo's skinny now. I am well over 200 pounds. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm 5'9".
But you're clearly trending in a different direction.
I got double numbered pants on right now.
But you're not trying to be skinny,
I would say you plan to lose more weight.
Hell no.
No.
Okay, yeah, because I think that you look amazing.
Thank you.
I think, are you saying that you're bigger than what an industry standard is? Because you're not big, but yes, you are bigger than what some people would determine an industry standard. But, but that standard is like gone. It's 2025. People, I don't even think
put me next
like
to any pop star right now. Like, I'm still bigger than them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Is there a version of Lizzo we haven't seen yet, and are you afraid to show her?
I'm not afraid, but I am protective. I think protection can be fear-based sometimes. A lot of people, like a protective mother is like, oh, I'm afraid something might happen to my child. Let me be overly protective. So sometimes there's if y'all saw how I really, am sometimes, like when I'm working, I feel like people wouldn't understand. And it's like, because I'm a very hard worker. I actually am. Like, ask anybody in this industry, they're like, she one of the hardest working. And I think because I'm fat, like the trope of, oh, she lazy or whatever, it comes in, and I get that put on me. And so people don't put me in the category of the hardworking divas that we all know and love today. But I work very hard, and I don't show that side because you get to just enjoy the show. You get to just enjoy the product. But though I work hard, I'm very kind to the people who I work with. I'm very measured. I'm very fair. But it gets real. I love to work, but I'm not going to pull back the curtain and show. There's other artists who do that. Like Beyonce pulls back the curtain for us, and we see her work ethic, and I respect that, and I love that. And I'm like, exactly. When I see how she works, when she put that black hoodie on, I'm like, exactly. Because that's how the I get down too. Down to the lighting, down to the timing, down to the sounds and the sonics of the music. We put that work in, and we don't show y'all because you're gonna say, oh, she's a like black women especially, oh, she's a so it's like we don't even want to show y'all because y'all are gonna judge us. But but I love when Beyonce does it because it puts respect on it. That's how we get down. So that part, I'm not gonna pull back the curtain because I already got enough allegations against me.
Lizzo, thank you for the
so
conversation.
Absolutely.
Keep doing the work, man. I love to see you glow up, mind, body, and spirit.
Thank you.
Blessings to you.
Amen.
It's Lizzo.
That was great, y'all.
It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get to the latest with Loren.
Loren becoming a straight fat.
She gets them from somebody that knows somebody.
She gets the details.
I'm the homegirl that knows a little bit about everything.
She be having the latest on you.
The latest with Lauren LaRosa.
Sometimes she have facts, sometimes she have details, sometimes she have a little bit of everything.
Well, it's the latest.
On the Breakfast Club.
Talk to me.
So Iman Shumpert is asking for Teyana Taylor to be held in criminal contempt of court and to be thrown in jail for 20 days.
Okay, now y'all going too far. Come on, Iman. For what?
Well, this is what. So he's basically saying that when Teyana Taylor spoke out, remember we reported in the room about the divorce agreement that they had, and people were saying she got this, she got that, and then she came out and spoke for herself. She went live on Instagram and did a video, and she spoke for herself. He's saying because of that, she's in contempt because their agreement, which they reached back in July of 2024, stated that neither one of them were supposed to talk about terms of what the agreement was, and she went online and she did so. I have the audio from that live. Let's take a listen to Teyana on Iman in Reputation.
Of course, a person is willing to leak some that make them look like a victim. And I'm literally going to my ex-husband. Keep in mind, me and Iman are on good terms. I didn't even know we was beefing. So I hit him on some people was putting out these blogs, and then, somebody's kind of sending me a little bit of proof that you're paying to ship this stuff around to promote and help trend your name. I'm like, but But I don't want to believe that it's you because we're in such a great space. Like, I got love for you for real, for real. I just like want to know if you could like stand up for me because I feel like I've been standing up for you. For you to say I've been protecting you by staying silent, that's so like passive aggressive and like, what you trying to say? You're protecting me by making me look like I took everything from you? I am begging y'all to let me get my back blown out in peace. All right, bye. How I turn this off?
So she couldn't. So
that would have made me want to be Sierra in jail too, though. That last
Stop
line,
it, man.
just the last line.
The back blown out. Mama gotta have a life too.
I'm just talking about my ego. My ego be so hurt, I wouldn't mind.
You don't want your ex-wife or your baby mama going to jail for no amount of time. Not 20 days, 10 days.
I'm with you. Business is business, court of courts, but that's still the mother of your child. You don't want her to go to jail because of gossip in the blogs.
And then she didn't talk about any terms. Like, she didn't say what she got or what
she was responding.
She just responds.
So she did go into the terms of explaining what she got. We do have that audio as well. Let's take a listen.
Y'all said that I won this luxury tour bus. I won a luxury Sprinter. I won a luxury the Maybach, and I won a Jeep Gladiator. I bought those. I paid for those. Trust me, I've seen a lot of women in the comments be excited for me and say, yeah, girl, as you should. No, it's not no as you should because I didn't. I walked away with what was mine. I came in with my own properties. He came in with his own properties. It's about 4 properties that both me and Iman put time, construction, money, hundreds and thousands of dollars into our properties. We have 4 of those. He got 2 of those, and I got 2 of those. I'm not here to talk about any of our personal business. I'm here to talk about exactly what is on the internet that is making me look like I'm some type of villain.
So if it's already out there, why she can't say what's already out there?
Because here's the thing: when the stories came out before or they leaked, it wasn't Iman saying, "Hey, here is what happened. Here is what we walked away with." There were just stories.
He was just a little sneaky with it, just a little sneakier with it. Obviously.
Well, I mean, that's what she's alleging in that first clip, and the reason why I played that is because Iman is saying that because she chose to get online and talk about the provisions and all these things that they came to terms on, it violated financial circumstances, privacy, safety, and security of the parties and their minor children. And he's saying that it actually resulted in him suffering a loss of income and damage to his personal and professional reputation.
Well, if you want to take legal action, I understand, but calling for her to get locked up, that's a bit much.
I think the way, because also too, when you go and you say a person is in contempt, there's consequences to the contempt, and these are just that is what is assigned with this. So it's not like he's making up.
Yo, I want her to go to jail. Like she's supposed to go.
I mean, if you saying she's in contempt of court and those are the consequences, technically 1 + 1 = 2. Yeah, but he's not the one like, hey, judge, this is what I think should happen.
This is going too far.
Yeah.
Oh, so Iman's not calling for this.
Well, if you know that these are the consequences as stated when y'all agreed to this, and then you go and say she violated this agreement, you can't say that you're not asking for it to happen because you're saying she violated. If she violated, you're asking for her to get in trouble.
Hold on, maybe I'm confused. Well, I thought that y'all said he called for her to go to jail. He didn't.
By him and his attorneys going and saying to a judge, she is in contempt of court. You are asking for whatever consequences come with that contempt to happen.
The penalty is jail
for
20 days. So basically, if you ask for it, that is the penalty, and that's what's.
But he's not saying put her in jail.
Well,
I get what y'all saying, but he's not. Yes,
he's not saying that
out of his mouth. No,
correct.
But
he just wants her to respect the guidelines of whatever the thing was.
Yes, but the reason why this is being picked up that way because, according to him, because she didn't, she could be looking at 20 days in jail and a fine. But Envy, what were you saying?
Y'all said it.
I thought you were saying something. Okay.
No, I do want to say, let's think this through, Amon, because we don't need Tiana going to jail. I feel like this is misdirected anger. What we need to focus on is how we get Mufasa in the zoo. Now that's who we got to get in the zoo. We get him in the zoo.
What are you talking about?
Why she can't get her back blown out?
That's the line that's bothering him. I know it. I know that's what it is.
How
do we get Mufasa in the zoo? That's what we got to focus on.
Met Gala with Ruth E. Carter looking good. She get her black blown out. I think they
black blown.
That might be happening too, depending on how good it is.
When you get your black blown out when you're sleeping with a white man. That's when you get your black blown out.
Aaron Pierre Mufasa is not a white man, but
I know that.
But allegedly they're saying it's all lies, and the only reason that this keeps coming up is because every time Tiana does something special or new, something comes out. That's what they're saying.
Who's they?
I don't know.
Okay.
Read between the lines, Loren.
Oh, I just wanted to make sure that because
Read
they
between
could
the
be
lines,
people
man.
online.
Read between them pinstripes on your coat.
That's what they're saying. She had an amazing time at the Met Gala. Everybody was talking about her outfits, and now something comes out. So they're saying every time something happens great for Tiana, you hear some BS.
Man, when that black get blown out, it's gonna be what's gonna happen there. But yeah, so that's it. I just want them to, separate and they're separated, but just go and live y'all separate lives and just this is a lot. There's kids involved.
I don't know Amon personally like that. I know Tiana, but I don't think Amon would want that. Amon wouldn't want Tiana Taylor.
Not at all. You don't want to see your baby moms go to jail, the mother of your children, your ex-wife go to jail. No, you don't want to. Nobody wants to see that.
No.
Yeah.
I would hope not.
That's it. That's all. I mean, oh no, I have more time.
Nope.
Oh.
And then to end it off, she got a new movie coming out. Don't play with her. Tiana, she been working. So end it off on some good you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what's the movie? Is it The Straw? Is that?
Yes, it's called, ain't no The Damn Straw. It's just called Straw.
No, because we talk about that dinner.
Tiana. Right. We said that it's a movie premiering, and they about to do some things.
It's on Netflix. It's called Straw, and we're actually going to go celebrate
Tyler Perry
that.
movie, too.
Yes, it
it's
is
a
a Tyler Perry
film. Yes.
Yes.
And she ironically plays a police officer.
Yes.
The movie follows a single mother who finds herself in a difficult situation, becomes entangled in events she never imagined. The cast also includes Sinbad and Mike Morrell, and it's a part of the film's creative partnership with Netflix. Tyler Perry's creative partnership.
Nice.
All right. Well, that is the latest with Loren.
Charlamagne! Yes!
Who you giving it down to?
We need the Trump administration to come to the front of the congregation. Okay, we'd like to have a word with them.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll get to that next. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States. Wouldn't you love to see one of these NFL owners, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of a bitch off the field right now, out, he's fired. He's fired!
Trump, please step up to the congregation.
Yes, you are a donkey.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists.
He's a jackass.
Yeah, it's Donkey of the Day for Monday, May 12th. It is the 12th, right? Yes, it is the 12th. Goes to the Trump administration as a staff, administration, record label, and mother effing crew. Now, nobody floods the zone like the Trump administration, okay? Every day, every hour, every minute, every second is something. And I could give them Donkey of the Day 3 or 4 times a week if I wanted to. But today, America, we got to talk. Okay, I don't know if you've seen the headline, but according to every news outlet, but I'm going to quote ABC News right now. The headline, and listen to this, the Trump administration poised to accept Palace in the Sky as a gift for Trump from Qatar. Yes, and what may be the most valuable gift ever extended to the U.S. from a foreign government, the Trump administration is preparing to accept a super luxury Boeing 747-8 jumbo jet from the royal family of Qatar. You can't make this up. Let's go to CBS News for the report, please.
The Gulf nation of Qatar says the gift of a luxury jumbo jet to serve as a presidential aircraft for Donald Trump is, quote, under consideration. Whatever it is, gift or plan, it comes as the president prepares for a 3-nation trip to the Middle East.
President Trump has already toured the 747-8. It happened in February when the luxury jet was flown to Palm Beach, Florida. CBS News has learned it's poised to be a gift from Qatar's royal family. It is not ready for presidential use and would need to be retrofitted. The president, who departs Monday to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE, will use one of the 747s that have served as Air Force One since the first President Bush. The value of the gift from a foreign power is sparking legal and ethical concerns. Maryland Democrat Jamie Raskin posting on X, the Constitution is perfectly clear. No present of any kind, whatever, from a foreign state without congressional permission. The White House press secretary says the administration will comply with the law.
Oh, it's Qatar? Qatar. A $400 million gift, okay, a jet. Listen, CNN, MSNBC, Fox, all media outlets, let's not do the dumb thing y'all do when you ask answers. I hate when I'm watching these networks. CNN does it the most, by the way. They ask answers. For example, they will say, is Donald Trump accepting this plane from Qatar illegal? Then they debate it, and then we the people are sitting back at home not processing the information the way that we should because we are looking at it through the lens of, is Trump taking the plane wrong? Is Trump taking the plane right? When there is only one answer. It is absolutely wrong. Okay, the U.S. Constitution prohibits government officials from accepting gifts from any king, prince, or foreign state. Full stop. Now, Trump posted on social media So the fact that the Defense Department is getting a gift free of charge of a 747 aircraft to replace the 40-year-old Air Force One temporarily in a very public and transparent transaction so bothers the crooked Democrats that they insist we pay top dollar for the plane. It's not just Democrats that I saw complaining about this. Okay, a lot of Trump's own supporters were complaining about this as well. And he said it's very public and transparent. Just because you sell dope, commit a murder, or rob somebody in broad daylight in front of a bunch of people doesn't make it any less of a crime. Okay, if it's one thing we've learned from politicians over the past decade is that corruption can be very public and very transparent. Okay, now in the Constitution, it says you are prohibited from accepting gifts from foreign states without the consent of Congress, aiming to prevent undue foreign influence on U.S. officials. So critics argue that accepting such a valuable gift like this jet, estimated at $400 million without congressional approval, could be unconstitutional. Now listen, I'm not about to sit up here and act like I'm some constitutional scholar, but outside of this being unconstitutional, widely illegal, why would you take a gift from people who fund terrorist organizations that kill a lot of Americans? And why, I say take the gift, I'm simply saying, why would you trust these people? When I say take the gift, I'm simply saying, why would you trust these people? Beware the noble gesture, okay? We know what that means, right? It's a warning that an act motivated by generosity may actually be a deceptive or manipulative move. Yes, appearances can be deceiving, and you should be cautious when evaluating someone's motives behind a gesture. First of all, these people are not gifting a $400 million plane out of the goodness of their heart. Okay, come on, Trump administration. Y'all at least have to know that. This gift comes with a lot of strings attached to it. And what makes you think that these folks can't cut those strings at any given time? Once again, these people fund terrorist organizations. How do we know they can't make this plane fall out of the sky anytime they want to? How do we know this plane isn't just a big-ass bomb? I know the Secret Service will do a sweep of the plane, but how do we know it's not loaded with listening devices, tracking devices? They are potentially going to have so much intel on our country, and none of this would happen if this administration, the Trump administration, simply moved with ethics and did things in a constitutional way. Please give the Trump administration the biggest hee-haw. Just move with some ethics and in a constitutional way, and we wouldn't have none of these problems. Wouldn't even be a discussion.
All right. Well, thank you for that donkey today.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we come back, 800-585-1051, we're going to open up the phone lines. Now, this conversation comes from an experience that Jess had over the weekend in Detroit. She's going to break it down.
Absolutely.
And the question is, do you find it harder to support black-owned businesses? Now, that is a question, and Jess will explain when we come back. 800-585-1051. Phone lines are wide open. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Steady calling my phone.
It's topic time. Call 800-585-1051 to join into the discussion with The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. We are The Breakfast Club. DJ MV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the guy. Now, if you're just joining us, we open up the phone lines 800-585-1051, and we're asking, do you find it harder to support black-owned businesses? Now, this conversation comes from an experience that Jess had over the weekend.
Yes, I did. So I just want to start off by saying I love Detroit. I love my fans. I
What
love
up,
my
Doe?
supporters. Absolutely. I love them. But I was handled terribly at One Mic Comedy Club, and I'm upset for myself and, quite frankly, for my damn fans too. I did this club for 3 reasons, right? They sold me on the lie that it was, Mike Epps Comedy Club. He's the OG, of course. Me being a stand-up comedian, who wouldn't want to perform in Mike Epps Comedy Club? 2, prior to me going, they told me that Damon Wayans was there. Only for me to get there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And see that it was Damon Williams.
Yo, shut up.
I swear to God, I don't know no damn Damon Williams, and I'm sorry, sir, you might be a fine comedian,
That's
but I
funny.
don't know you. They said Damon Wayans. 3, it's a black-owned venue, right? So when I go to Detroit, I usually do MGM, Fox Theater. The very first club I did there was a black-owned club, Punchline.
Mm-hmm.
Should have went back there, right? But I did this. Then everybody claimed that they're the owner, right? The manager who claimed to be the owner first, her name is Kimberly Moore. She originally did the deal and tried to change the deal terms many times after the deal was already done. So it was supposed to have been 3 shows. When I saw the tickets was selling for every show but the brunch, right?
Mm-hmm.
I went and I seen that she was selling the tickets for $90. Like, are you stupid? No, and then that's not even what the deal was. Per the deal that I signed off on, all tickets were supposed to be sold at $50. So I told her to pull me from the brunch. She canceled altogether because she had no selling point now, right? Trying to make extra money on the side, that don't work with me. Like, why would you try to make an extra $40 on the side? That's not even what we doing here, right? Then it's Mother's Day. That's why they not selling, dumbass. It's $90. Like, what? So every performer has a rider. A rider is the list of things requested by the performer that's supposed to be in the green room when you get there. Nothing from my rider was honored but 3 bottles of liquor. Nothing. And when I communicated this to Kim, she lied and said that my rider was never sent from my manager. But how wasn't my rider sent from the manager when you knew what type of liquor to get me? That was just the easiest for your cheap, lazy ass to do because they right behind the bar. Those bottles was behind the bar. Then after the 9 p.m. show, as I promised, I did a meet and greet. I've been promoting this on the radio. You heard this. This is in all my promos online, everything. Right? Some man, random, I don't know who he is. I never met before. He never was in on a deal or nothing. He walks in and he attempts to shut it down. He said, nah, we ain't doing none of that. So my husband, because he was there, he was like, nah, we ain't doing none of what? And who you supposed to be? The guy said, this ish, whatever this is, we don't do no meet and greet. And we going to shut it down. I'm the owner. So Chris said, since everybody the owner, I'm the owner too. And she going to finish this meet and greet like she been promoting it. And she promised it. I don't know how you never heard nothing about it. And I don't know you to be the owner. You know the owner. So he said, nah, this ain't what we doing. And so he starts walking toward where I'm doing the meet and greet at. So Chris put his arm up like on some stiff arms. So then the guy go from being the owner to, I'm a cop. He said, I'm a cop. I don't advise you to do. I'm a cop. And so he said, all right, that's cool. But this my wife. And I don't know what you walking over toward her for. So he said, you can go get the, no, after that, he said, yo, all right, well, look, I'm securing Michael Comedy Club. Talking about Mike Epps now. Chris just laughed and was like, all right, go get Kim. Go get Kim.
Chris ain't scared of no cop. If you said he was ICE agent, that's...
Yo, shut up, man. Shut up.
So,
go ahead,
the guy, officer, owner, security, he went to go get Kim. We continue doing meet and greet. First of all, the guy comes back and he's fussing at my fans, telling them that they have to leave. They, like, the fans looking like, Detroit ain't... They like, nah, we ain't going nowhere. They want to see the drama too, but they like, nah, we paid for a meet and greet, right? So then Kim comes over. This is the person that we've been doing a deal with the whole time. She looks right in my husband's eye, and she says, we never signed off on a meet and greet. We never even knew she was doing this. We can't do this. It's getting too late. It's after 12 o'clock. We can't do this. I wanted to punch her fat ass right in her face, like, lied. How do you lie? I've been promoting this. This is crazy. So now my fans in an uproar because I charge $40 a picture. And they already submitting their money. So Chris like, yo, we gonna do this. So they ain't nobody budging nothing. We finished the meet and greet, right? And then after that, the guy, I wanted to say something to the guy. So he's like,
what guy? The other owner that's a cop.
The owner that's a cop, and he also said he's security. He's like, yeah, I just want to let you know that it was horrible communication. Which I said, no, your communication is with Kimberly Moore or whoever. And I was also referred to the club by some guy named Harry. He's supposed to be an attorney that worked with the club and everything. And according to Mike, according to Kim, who kind of sort of told me this, Mike don't even want nothing to do with the club. But she tried to make it seem like that Mike don't want nothing to do with the club because some other crap. No, he don't want nothing to do with it because this right here, all of this, man,
falls on him.
After talking to some other people there, it's been so many managers that has come and gone. They don't like the way it's ran. They don't pay people on time. And that was the problem. The real problem was after 12 o'clock, they would have to pay their staff for another
overtime,
day, right?
Day and a half or something.
And they didn't. They wanted to have some type of money, make some type of money off my meet and greet. That's not how I work. That's not what I do. So you can't do that. You know what I mean? So I would. It's a horrible reflection on Mike Epps because even online, according to Google, he is listed as the owner, but he ain't even. Man, that's horrible. I don't advise any other comedian to go here. My fans were upset. I'm upset. I was not treated like Jess Hilarious. I love Detroit way too much to do that. I should have took my ass to the Punchline. That's another black-owned comedy club. But that's more intimate, more small. I would have to do more shows to make the amount of money that I make now. Like. That was bad.
Well, I'm sorry you had that experience. It's not hard supporting black-owned businesses. It's hard supporting terribly ran businesses. And the problem with terribly ran businesses, you don't know they terribly ran until you do business with them. Right. And that's why it's so important for the business to be up to par. Because if not, you're going to get a terrible review like Jess just gave this comedy club in Detroit.
Absolutely.
And the sad thing is I DJ'd there before, but I didn't deal with the club.
Yeah.
I dealt with I guess the alphas who rented the club out and hired me to perform. So when I went there, I didn't have to deal with management and nothing, and everybody was friendly and nice. But it sucks that you know, like you said it, you want to go to a black-owned business, and the sad thing about it is I love comedy, so I go to comedy clubs all over the place, and it's very hard to find a black-owned comedy show that's been in business for a long time. So when you see one, you want to support. And if people are not having a great time and comedians are not having the respect that they feel like they deserve or that they should get, yeah, absolutely, positively.
Yeah, I don't think it's the black-owned part, though. It's just the terribly ran part. You know what I'm saying? Because none of us have a problem supporting black-owned business.
Yeah, because like I said, Punchline.
That's
perfect.
Right.
Black-owned, they treat me with such grace. Right. They love me. They appreciate me. Yo, if it was not for my fans and the servers that was overworked, you know what I'm saying? Like, because they running, it's like 2 or 3 different sides to one mic. So they got all of them working on this side, the comedy club.
That's what I said, it was
the
upstairs
bar
and there's a downstairs. Yeah.
So it's just like, it's in a beautiful area. It's downtown, but it's like, it's not ran by the right people. And me and my fans were handled terribly. Like, you know what I mean? So I would never, ever go back.
And
never.
That's she won't go back because it's terribly ran.
Yes. And Mike Epps should get his name off that, period.
All right.
That's a bad reflection of him.
Well, let's open up the phone lines. 800-585-1051. Do you find it harder to support black-owned businesses? Phone lines are crazy right now, so we'll answer some of your phone calls. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Call. Maybe. If y'all talking about it, you know we talking about it. It's topic time. Call 800-585-1051 to join into the discussion with the Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Now, if you're just joining us, Jess talked about her experience from a comedy club restaurant out in Detroit. And we were talking 800-585-1051. Is it difficult? Is it harder supporting black-owned businesses? A lot of people on the line. Hello, who's this?
Yo, Envy, you know the vibes, man. It's Mello.
Mello, what's up?
Life is amazing. It is what it should be. Happy belated Mother's Day, Jess.
Thank you, Mello.
And happy belated Mother's Day to you too, Loren LaRosa. I know them wigs take a lot of care. You look great.
Oh, my God.
Go ahead, Mello.
Honestly, I'm actually very passionate about this topic because I had some very bad experiences with some black-owned businesses, and I feel as though black-owned businesses, 9 times out of 10, are just using that phrase as a marketing scheme, and they don't put any credibility behind those words. Now, granted, I understand us as black people, we like to work off the barter system. That's nothing new, you feel me? So us as black customers, we have to be more, like, accessible and more versatile with working black-owned businesses. But at the same time, black-owned businesses, y'all really need to know the definition, the denotative definition of the word customer service. Because y'all just be out here throwing fees on because you sound cool. Y'all be doing stuff for aesthetics, and y'all marketing gets them in the door, but y'all don't keep them in there because y'all don't know how to brand y'all product.
Yeah.
You feel me? But that's a conversation for another day. You heard?
Thanks, Mello. Hello, who's this?
Hi, this is Tanae.
Hey, Tanae, good morning. We're asking, do you find it harder to support black-owned businesses?
Okay, I'm not going to put all black businesses in one category, but it is hard sometimes. I feel like sometimes they don't realize that they have to put back in their business to invest, for the resources to excel, if that makes sense.
Okay, so you feel like they don't put the money back into the business to make the business better?
Right, like there's certain software systems out there that can make your business run more smoothly. Hire more people, invest in training. There's just so many resources out there that I feel like we lack. And sometimes it does make it hard. The beauty industry is a whole other story, but it is difficult sometimes.
Okay, thank you. Hello, who's this?
Hey, this is T.
Hey, T. Good morning.
Good morning. Hey, y'all. Hey,
Peace,
girl. Oh, Charlamagne. I love all of y'all. I'm so happy I'm on.
Hey. So we're talking about, is it harder to support a black-owned business? And you own a black-owned business, correct?
I own a black-owned business. I have a balloon business out in Connecticut. It's called Call Me a Wallflower.
Uh-huh.
So basically, I mean, as a black business owner, I truly want to support black-owned businesses. But sometimes it's tough. I've dealt with late arrivals, poor communication. I've been overcharged just for simple things. And I've even had to start telling some of the vendors 2 hours earlier just to keep keep them on track, because I just don't trust that they're going to arrive at the time that they should arrive. So that's why in my business, I show up about an hour early before the client even tells me. If they tell me 5 o'clock is our start time, I'm there by 4. And, you know, I'm sometimes there before them. I make sure I communicate very clearly, and I make sure there's never room for any uncertainty, because professionalism matters just as much as the passion.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mama.
You're welcome. Have a good day, guys.
You too.
I think the biggest problem sometimes with black-owned businesses is we take each other for granted. We tend to be so hard on each other, and we don't treat each other with the same respect or gratitude. And I'm talking about both ways: the person who owns the business and the customer who's coming into this, facility. Like the way we talk to each other, we wouldn't talk to white folks like that. The things we expect from each other, we wouldn't expect that from white people. I wish that we approached each other the same way we approach establishments, period. Like, don't walk in here thinking because it's a black-owned business, you're supposed to get treated in a different way. Right? It's a business.
But I will say this. I do take an understanding. Like, for instance, if I go to a black-owned restaurant and there's a problem with my food, I'll accept it faster, right? And the reason I accept it faster is because I feel like a lot of times you can tell when a business is a mom and pop owned and it's out their own pocket, and they might not have things that other places can have. They might not be able to get the loans that other businesses can have. So sometimes I just sit and I eat it and I just won't go back.
But you shouldn't accept that.
I know, but if I'm at a white restaurant and there's something that I don't like, I'll send it back immediately and ask them to take it off the bill, because I understand we don't have the resources sometimes. We don't have the finances sometimes. And a lot of times we don't have the people working in those businesses. So I do understand that.
But that's what I mean when I say we don't treat each other with the same respect or gratitude.
You're right.
Because the reality of the situation is, I know this is a black-owned business, but if my stuff ain't right, it's not right. And I got to let you know that, because I want you to get it right.
Right.
If you just sit there, envy, and eat the food, they don't know what they did wrong. They don't know what they did right. They don't know what they did wrong. There's a reason that if you go to most restaurants, they give you customer reviews. And they want to know what it is they're doing right, what it is they're doing wrong.
But sometimes I feel bad because I know they might not be able to afford to lose that $40 steak. They might not be able to afford to lose that lobster tail or that burger or whatever it may be. They might not be able to afford to lose that. So you feel a little bad, and you just hope that they figure it out.
But you know what else they can't afford to lose? A repeat customer.
You're right.
They want you to keep coming back. So you got to tell these folks what's wrong so they can get it right and they can raise their standard.
And I wonder how many black-owned businesses this is the first time that they created this business. See, a lot of times, a lot of these other businesses they have restaurants in their family. They have these type of stores in their family, so they're tried and true already. A lot of times for us, this is our first time, and we just trying to make it happen off a whim, you know what I mean, and trying to figure it out as we go along.
Well, you got to get it right. So I know it is kind of a strange question, because it's not hard supporting black-owned businesses. Not for me. Mm-hmm. It's hard supporting terribly ran businesses.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
You got to learn. Like, I owned a car wash at one time, right? And when one of my guys was vacuuming somebody's car, I didn't know that you had to actually have the vacuum screwed down. So when he went to vacuum the car, the vacuum fell on the guy's car, and I had to pay to fix that car. But I didn't know anything about it. But, somebody who owned car washes before would know better than I would.
You said what now? You was washing somebody. You trying to wash somebody's car with a vacuum?
I owned a car wash. I owned a car wash.
You trying to wash somebody's car with a vacuum?
No, I owned a car wash, and as they were cleaning the inside of the car, the vacuum fell off and hit the guy's car and dented the car. Right. So you had to screw them in, but I wouldn't have known to screw it in because I've never owned a car wash before. See, you heard screw it in, and you got excited. You got excited.
Yeah.
Screw what in?
Forget it, man.
The hose to the vacuum.
The hose to the vacuum. You had to screw it to the ground so it wouldn't move. I didn't know. Like, there's things that you don't know that you figure out as they happen. Now, that customer would never come back to my car wash, but those type of things you got to learn.
But he wouldn't come back to your car wash if you was white too. You understand what I'm saying? Unless you did, he wouldn't come back unless you did something to rectify that situation.
I mean, I did fix it, but I didn't know. But somebody who owned a car wash before would know all of these things before, because they know from family, they know for being tried and true. I was just trying to figure it out on my own.
Yeah, but like I said earlier, man, it's not hard supporting black-owned businesses. It's just hard supporting terribly ran businesses. I don't expect anything from a business except quality. I don't expect anything from a business except good customer service. Whatever business I support, if the quality isn't up to par, I'm not dealing with it.
All right. Well, we got the latest with Loren coming up. Don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get to the latest with Loren.
Loren becoming a straight fad. She
gets them from somebody that knows somebody.
Well,
that
she
knows
gets the
somebody
details.
I'm a homegirl that knows a little bit about everything.
She be having the latest on you.
The latest with Lauren LaRosa.
Sometimes she have facts, sometimes she have details, sometimes she have a little bit of everything.
Well, it's the latest.
On The Breakfast Club.
Talk to me.
Alrighty, y'all. So remember in here we talked about that Drewski lawsuit. There was
Yes.
a woman that was alleging that Drewski, Odell Beckham Jr., and Diddy sexually assaulted her. Now, when I talked about this last, I told y'all that I had seen phone records and bank records that then it came out that, you know, what I saw then came out in the media that showed that Drewski, number one, had no money. He was not a celebrity. He was not hanging with celebrities at the time, from what these documents were alleging. And there were phone records that placed him in Georgia during the time that this assault would have happened. Now, the full filing was actually published and made available over the weekend. So I went back and I looked, just because a lot of times in the full filings, like, there might be more information, and there was. So in this full filing, there was actually a police report that Drewski's team is pointing to. And this police report that they attach as an exhibit, so you can actually read the police report, was filed by this alleged victim in a California court. And it would have been during the time that the sexual assault that she alleges happened. So she is basically saying that there were two men that sexually assaulted her. Same time, same day, but not Drewski, not Odell Beckham Jr., and not Diddy.
So why she call their name then? And what happens now that we find out she lied on those people?
Well, let me get to it, because there's another thing too before I address that. Another thing as well is in this same filing, they attach a job offer from Longhorn Steakhouse in Georgia. The day that the sexual assault would have happened was the day that Drewski accepted that job. So and they're doing this to show that he was not, you know, the legend, like he wasn't even in California. Now, to answer your question.
Yeah, we know the Drewski part is capped. We knew that from the beginning.
Yes.
But what happens to that young lady now that we know she got caught in a lie? Why
the fact that she even mentioned
why would she just bring up these people?
lie.
Odell Beckham, Drewski, why?
So Drewski's attorneys are asking for her and her attorneys to be sanctioned.
What that mean? Locked up?
It depends on what the court wants to levy, like what consequences the court wants to give, but they want them to get in trouble.
Some kind of penalty anyway. Yeah.
So it can be a penalty. You can be stripped of certain things. It just depends on how the judge decides.
She should have to pay a fine, or she should go to jail.
And then they are also asking that this lawsuit just be dismissed in total. Now, I did reach out to the attorney for the accuser, and the attorney told me that this is a procedurally improper motion, basically that this motion is not correct, and that they look forward to litigating this in court.
Your lawyer, you got to know your client is lying. If you don't know your client is lying at this point, then we got to start questioning you and your credentials.
Crazy.
Like, seriously, like, why do we keep letting people get away with this type of stuff? And how do reputable lawyers, I would think they're reputable lawyers, take these kind of cases on?
I'm not for certain. I'm not for sure. But in the filing, Drewski team mentions, like, a quick, you know, like, conversation with your client, or, you know, certain searches. Just, there's a lot of things you guys could have done before we got to this point where you're throwing this on him, and this could have caused, you know, brand deal harm, and, you know, like, there's just so much when you throw allegations like this.
Right. And when you're in court and you lie, right, you're held in contempt, right? You can't lie technically. So, like, what is it? Well, I guess the difference would be that they're not in a courtroom, because that's the same thing. That's what they're doing. They're lying, the allegations, and then they prove, when it's proven that they're lying, that it should be some type. So it's no law, like no type of nothing set for these people to have to pay for what they did.
So there are rules, and that's what Drewski's team is talking about. Like, yo, based on the rules of the court, as an attorney, it's kind of like the same thing with the Jay-Z situation.
Yeah.
Like, Jay-Z's attorney came out and said, yo, if you're an attorney, we're trusting that you're doing things fairly and that you're doing things in good faith, and that you're actually investigating these things before you bring it in a lawsuit in front of a judge. And because you didn't follow these rules of the court, there are consequences that a judge can levy, but the judge decides what the consequences are going to be.
Because
they just act for it to happen.
You're not just bringing this stuff in front of a judge. You're bringing this stuff in front of the court of public opinion. Now my reputation is damaged. Now my brand is damaged. Now I'm losing all types of money. And you just get to walk away?
Yeah, because people will believe the lie and run with that.
Yeah, and that's what happens too. And brands don't really care to do their own research. And you know what I mean? It's just they don't have time. The social media reacts so fast. Now, filing a lawsuit, I just looked this up because I wanted to make sure I stated this. Filing a lawsuit based on false information can lead to serious consequences, including dismissal of the case, which is what Drewski is asking for, fines, just to your point, even criminal charges like perjury. If the court finds out that the information was knowingly false, the case can be dismissed, and the plaintiff may be penalized for wasting the court's resources and causing harm to the defendant. And even it goes, you know, as far as even lying under oath. So we'll just have to wait to see what happens and how the judge responds.
Disgusting.
All right. Well, that was the latest with Loren.
Yes.
And listen, you know something that y'all need to watch on television, man. If y'all haven't this weekend, watch Forever on Netflix. Did y'all watch Forever this weekend on Netflix?
No, I keep hearing you're the third person to say something about that.
You know, one of my favorite storytellers of all time is Judy Blume. Y'all know how I feel about Judy Blume. Forever is loosely based off Judy Blume's 1975 book Forever. And it's done by another one of my favorite storytellers, Mara Brock-Akil, who created Girlfriends.
Okay.
I didn't know Mara Brock-Akil did that. My cousin texted me and told me to tell you to watch that because she knows that you're a Judy Blume fan.
Yeah, and I watched it this weekend. I'm on episode 7 right now. Fantastic series, man.
Nice.
If you like rom-com vibes, you know, black love, teenage love, you know, it's just a feel-good show.
Love
That's
that.
what's up.
Yeah.
That's
All right. Well, we got the People's Choice Mix up next. Get your request in. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the God. We are the Breakfast Club. I want to salute again to the cast and everybody at Hell's Kitchen on Broadway. It's a play I took the whole family, my wife and my mother, and everybody else this Sunday, and it was such an amazing show. So if you ever come to New York City and you're looking for something dope to do, Hell's Kitchen, which is it's a play based off loosely, I guess, Alicia Keys' love to Hell's Kitchen, the area where she grew up in New York City, music.
Oh, so that's a place.
And
I'm like trying to figure it out. Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
so
Right up the street.
Right up the street.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a lot different. I would say, baby, about 20 years ago, it was way
Yeah.
more hood, way more. It felt more abandoned, and they, built it up a lot. But it was a great play.
I loved Hell's Kitchen.
The
I
lady
saw it
that
a couple
played
weeks
Alicia
ago.
Keys was dope. Tank is in it. Tank plays Alicia Keys' dad.
Yes.
He plays the deadbeat.
Yeah, deadbeat dad.
Oh, wow.
Deadbeat Darius.
Alicia Keys' mom, who was in the play, she sings in it. It's crazy. So it was just a dope play, and all my kids enjoy it. So I just want
That's
to
not
say
her
thank
real
you.
mom.
No, not her real mom.
Oh.
I said who played her mom.
Okay.
Who played her mom. So salute to the whole cast for inviting me. We had a great time.
Nice. And then this weekend, I'm in Atlantic City, y'all. This Saturday, the show starts at 8 o'clock. Listen, this is what I love about Atlantic City, right? And other venues too, but Atlantic City is the best because I've been so busy, I haven't really got to promote this like I wanted to, and it's already 75% sold out. So Atlantic City, I love y'all so much. I will be there in New Jersey at Harris Casino for the comedy show. It starts at 8. Me and my brother Desi will be there, and I will be doing meet and greet. I love y'all so much. Can't wait to get there. So Atlantic City, see y'all this Saturday.
Y'all got to go to Kelsey's for brunch.
Yeah, Kelsey's.
Okay.
Lord have mercy.
Sunday brunch.
Okay.
Amazing.
Lord have
on Sunday.
mercy.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
I think they do brunch Saturday too, but Sunday too.
No,
so
I'm staying so I can wake up and go straight there.
Yeah, they do it Saturday and
Sunday. Yep.
Sunday.
Yeah, shout out to
They got
Kelsey's.
you know what else they got? They got a ocean spot now. Like they got a spot by the ocean that serve good ass food too.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I never been there.
Hell yeah.
I mean, a lot of fun.
Yes, Kelsey and Kim's Ocean View in Atlantic City. When I'm in Atlantic City, I do Kelsey's breakfast to dinner because Kelsey's is banging. But they brunch is crazy at Kelsey's, and then they got Kelsey and Kim's Ocean View, which is a great dinner spot.
Well, I'll be going there.
It's time to get up out of here. First and foremost, go New York, go New York, go!
Hey.
Knicks need to beat Boston Celtics tonight. So I just
Boy,
wanna...
New York, if y'all mess around and let Boston get 2 in New York and tie the series, y'all in trouble.
Nope, we gonna win tonight.
They better.
Hopefully.
You don't have no hope in New York?
I do. But
Okay.
I'm just saying, they got it. They should. They. This is a must-win game tonight.
It is.
They go back to Boston tied 2-2. I don't like their chances.
What time the game is?
7 o'clock.
I'm going to have to watch that. Just
7
to see.
o'clock.
Okay.
Well, you got a positive note?
I do. The positive note is simply this. One of the hardest challenges in life is to be yourself in a world where everyone is always trying to make you be somebody else. Have a blessed day.
Breakfast Club, bitches!
Y'all finished or y'all done?